Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the weekly forecast. I'm Cody Savine here with my co-hosts Jackson Maneri, Nathan Ko, and Asher Johnson. Been a while, we know, but we're here. We're back. The playoffs are actually set, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be going through each game that's coming up this weekend, our thoughts, who do we think is going to win, and then afterwards we're going to be going off of who do we think is going to make it out of the AFC and the NFC, and what do we think is going to happen in the Super Bowl. It's probably one of the most wild playoffs I've seen in a few years, so got a lot of thoughts on it, and I think we're going to start in the NFC with a game that's it's definitely a game where the Los Angeles Rams are traveling to North Carolina to play the Carolina Panthers. What do we think is going to happen?
Hey, don't downplay that game.
I know.
We all
I
know what
agree.
happens in the regular season.
Yeah, the Panthers
They
already
So,
beat the
did beat
Rams
them,
once.
and
I do not foresee that happening a second time. That is
yeah,
my prediction. I don't I don't think Los Angeles is going to walk in there this time the same way that they did the first time. Um, Now, granted, I know weather kind of played a factor the first time. I know it was raining a little bit. So if there's bad weather again in Carolina, then maybe that plays a factor. But I really don't see a scenario where the Panthers are going to get their first playoff win. I think it's cool. Like they get to host a playoff game. They broke their drought. They're coming back to relevancy. Bryce Young is playing okay. I mean, he's doing some good things, some bad things still, and the team around him is growing and developing. And I think they'll be around for a couple of years to come. But the Los Angeles Rams, I mean, they're just a wagon. And I know they have their flaws, they have their weaknesses, but if you just go head to head across the board, roster to roster, coach to coach, however you want to compare the dominoes, the Los Angeles Rams are just the better football team.
Yeah,
yeah,
I have to agree. I mean, the last outing we saw was Matthew Stafford threw that really terrible interception at the end of the game. That really hurt them a lot. I know for the Panthers this game, they're getting their guard Robert Hunt back this game. He's been out since week 2. He's in the Pro Bowl last year. He's a good guard for them, but I don't the only way I can see them is if somehow some Bryce Young like crazy deep bombs this game. The Rams corners, that's their weak spot on their defense. That's the only way I can really see that the Panthers really doing any work. But the Rams pass rush is so good that I don't know if Bryce Young is going to have the time in the pocket to be able to launch it 30 yards down the field to Tet and just like create those explosive plays. But I have the Rams winning this game. I do think 10.5 points, because that's the spread right now, is maybe a little too much. But then
I
again,
think
I could,
Carolina will keep it close for sure.
yeah.
I would definitely take plus 10.5 with
I mean,
ease.
we've seen in the past couple games with the Rams that they've kind of not fallen off, I would say, but I feel like they haven't come out to as explosive start as they have earlier in the regular season. I mean, for the first half of the Cardinals game, week 18, they were either down or it was like a one-score game. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons in embarrassing fashion on a Monday night game, lost to Seattle. I mean, kept it close to the out of the playoffs team Lions. They won by one score. I think the Panthers could definitely, they need a lot to go their way to win this game.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I'm a Bryce Young believer. I think it's great for the Panthers fans. I think they're going to get some good playoff experience, but I don't think that there's really any possibility that they win this game. And honestly, I don't even think the spread is that crazy. I think the Rams could go in there and beat them by 20, 25 just because. I don't know if
Dude.
that'll happen, but I mean, I guess the Panthers also get home field advantage, however much that helps. But yeah, I don't see it being very close. Um, Even if Bryce has a good game, I think Tet will have a good game. I think he'll get a lot of receptions, get a lot of yards. But overall, it's a good future for Carolina. But I think this is where it ends. Although I'd love for them to beat the Rams, but
Tell me, I would love them to beat the Rams. That's like the one thing I actually want as a Seahawks fan, is for the Rams to lose in the first round of
yeah,
playoffs. That would bring me so much hope and joy and so much stress off my shoulders, because I don't want to play them. But again, I don't really see a way. They looked terrible in that Bucks game. It was a must-win game for them, and they still looked bad
mm,
against them. They put up 14 points, and we know that the Rams defense is going to be way better than the Bucks defense is. And they put up 10 points against Seahawks the week before. I mean, it depends which Panthers team you get. I feel like you have a really, really good Panthers outing. I mean, Bryce Young had 3 touchdowns the last time that they played them, but I just don't see him throwing 3 touchdowns against the Rams this time. I can't.
Yeah, I also agree. I think it depends on what kind of Bryce Young shows up because you see sometimes Bryce Young has a really good game and then other days he doesn't look like he remember how to play football sometimes, or at least for a quarter or two, and then he like starts picking it up. But I feel like he needs to be there for all 4 quarters if they're gonna win that game. Uh, but it also depends. Matthew Stafford has not been struggling a little bit. I feel like, not necessarily like just turnovers wise. I feel like if the Panthers can create enough turnovers, I think they'll easily stay in that game. But it really depends on what really happens. I guess I don't. I think the Rams are gonna win.
Yeah.
I think they could cover that 10-point spread too.
I think if, like you were saying, Nathan, if the Panthers can force turnovers, that's absolutely going to play a huge factor into it. I think the other thing is just being able to sustain these long drives for the Panthers, right? Like relying on Rico Dowdle, relying on Chuba Hubbard, being like, hey, we're going to get into these second and mediums, third and shorts. We're going to milk the clock. We're going to hit some big shots when we have to. But for the most part, for the Panthers, you don't want to see Matthew Stafford on the field. You don't want to see Puka Nacua on the field. You don't want to see Devontae Adams on the field. Like you want no part of the Rams offense for well, how do I want to put this? You don't want the Rams offense on the field more than your offense, basically. But you want it to be, right? You don't want it to be like, oh, 51% to 49%. Like you want it to probably be like 75-25 or 70-30. Like you want to control the time of possession if you're the Carolina Panthers in this game.
Yeah, they need to eat out a
Yeah.
lot of clock. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's like the Panthers' specialty. I mean, they have, I mean, one of the best 2 running back duos in the league right now. With, I mean, I'm off the top of my head, I can't really think of one other than K Walk and Sharp that would match it. At least in the postseason wise.
Gibbs
But
Montgomery. I
yeah,
guess not
I
in the
mean, yeah,
postseason, but
but like
Swift and
maybe
Monaghan.
Swift, yeah, Swift and Monungai, I would say
low key
would beat it.
Henderson,
But
Ramondre, if they're clicking, like
if they're
last
clicking,
week.
yeah, but yeah, we played the Jets last week, so it's
That's
take it with
true.
a
Yeah,
grain of
J.K.
salt.
Dobbins
But
is healthy though.
But I'm saying, like they have the running back duo that they're able to split those carries. They're able to give them each 20 carries, like a huge workload both, and for them to control the clock. It's just if they get those first downs and then they limit their turnovers on the plays that they need to pass on. The last time that the Rams played the Panthers, Stafford threw 2 interceptions, and that was key. Bryce Young didn't have a single turnover that game. Stafford had 2, and he had a crucial one at the end of the game. And that's what kind of sealed the Panthers' like fate to win that game. It was a crazy big upset.
Yeah.
If the same thing could happen, do I think it's going to? No, I think the Rams are definitely gonna. I trust Sean McVay more in the playoffs with this Rams team. They have the experience from last season than a Bryce Young who has 0 playoff experience, Dave Canales who has 0 playoff experience, and a team who's just frankly just really really young.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think if Rico Dowdle played like he did earlier in the season, getting like 200 yards, like just firing on all cylinders, I think that they could have a chance to at least keep it close, maybe win. Because Matthew Stafford's usually pretty perfect. I mean, I think 5 of his 8 interceptions were in that game versus the Panthers, and the other game where he
In
had 3
Atlanta.
interception, Atlanta. And other than that, I mean, he had pretty much every other game where he had 0 interceptions, other than a couple key other ones. But Bryce Young, he's been pretty clutch when he needs to be. So if they can get into that scenario where they're just keeping the ball for 45 minutes out of the 60-minute game, I don't see why they can't stay in it. But I think out of every game in the playoffs, I think this is the one where they're all consistently going to be, unless you're a Panthers fan saying that the Rams are probably going to win.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything else for that game, or you want to? I feel like that's
No,
kind of
not
like the easiest prediction out of all the games I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Even in the AFC, in my opinion, I think that's probably the easiest game for me to choose between.
I agree.
I mean, even between Steelers Texans, I still think that the Steelers probably have a better shot of beating the Texans and the Panthers do at beating the Rams. But
I would agree.
but we can move on. Next game, Eagles versus 49ers.
I think it'll be a close game. I think that the 49ers, I would give the edge to. I think that Brock Purdy has played phenomenal. I mean, they didn't do well against the Seahawks. I will say that, but I think that that's just a testament to how good the Seahawks defense is. I don't think that that's anything against them. But overall, I just like the team a little bit more. I think the Eagles' offense has just been lackluster, and I think their whole strategy is the defense continues to play at the top, elite level, the top 5 level, and then the offense does just enough to win them the game, which is the difference from last year to where they had a dominant offense and a dominant defense. I think that if the Niners play well, if McCaffrey plays well, if you see Jawan Jennings and what's his
Ricky.
nuts, yeah, Ricky Pearsall, like playing well, George Kittle, all of them. Is Trent Williams healthy? Is he playing that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
I just like their offense a lot better. I think that they'll be able to score on Philly's defense, and I don't think I can say the same to that level as Philly unless they, decide to suddenly remember how to play offense. But I personally have the 49ers.
Yeah, I have the Eagles winning this game. I think I'm a little more high on the Eagles than most people think, or than most people are. I would say. I just think I trust their defense, and again, I think I never mind. I was going to say playoff experience, but I mean the Niners and Brock Purdy already been to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. But I think I'm banking on the potential that this offense has. I understand they haven't shown it all year, but I definitely. I mean, I can't count on an offense when you have Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert all in one offense against a really banged up Niners defense is really it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good on paper, and I think the matchup just heavily favors the Eagles. They can just spread out the offense. Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do much. I mean, Jalen Hurts never really has to do much. You can just either hand it off to Saquon or just do 10-yard slant routes or 5-yard slant routes with Devonta Smith and AJ Brown the whole game, and that'll get you down the field. I do think that the Eagles defense is a lot better than people think. I mean, you stop the Bills, who is one of the hottest teams in the league or one of the better teams on offense in the league. They hold them to 12 points. I understand. I guess the Bills could have tied that game and it could have went to overtime and the defense, whatever, it could have changed. They hold the Lions to 9 points. They led the Packers with fully healthy to 7 points earlier in the season. They're just an up and down team, and I think I'm just gonna bank on the team that's the healthiest. I think when whatever team is going to be healthiest later on in the year is the team that I'm going to choose to win the game, just because, frankly, I see on the report chart that Lane Johnson is supposed to come back for the Eagles for their offensive line, so that'll help them out a lot. I think it'll be close. But I have the Eagles personally. So
I'm gonna also take the Eagles in this one. Most of my reasons are very similar to yours, Asher, in terms of I still like their offensive talent as a whole. Obviously, they haven't shown it completely yet, but when you compare them to some of the best teams in the league that they've been playing, I mean, they win those games. It's not pretty, right? They're kind of like the Broncos of the NFC. Like Broncos don't win pretty either, but in terms of like roster and just like relying on their defense, I think they're kind of built similarly in that way. And I just trust. I think the main thing here too is Philly's playoff environment, especially in January when it's going to be cold, it could be snowing, it could be super windy. Um, Philly's going to have the advantage in that, obviously, because they play in that year round for the most part. That's their home stadium versus the 49ers. They get to play out in San Francisco. So they get, typically warmer weather, sunny, not a lot of non-football weather conditions. And so I think that plays a factor for me as well. Um, I think the other thing too is like they're still the Super Bowl champions as of right now. Like I don't think I'm not saying that they're going to repeat by any means, but they have like that mindset of, hey, we did this last year, why can't we go and do it again? And so I'm gonna also take the Eagles for those reasons.
I'm gonna take the 49ers.
Absolutely.
Purdy's on fire right now. I think he's been performing out of his mind. I think if he was healthy the entire year and been performing like he has the last 3 weeks, he could be in MVP talks. Like 2 weeks ago, he threw for 5 touchdowns, and then against the Bears also, he had in there 5 touchdowns. Did he not?
Three. He had
3?
5. Yeah, he had five total. Sorry.
2 rushing, 3 passing.
Mhm.
I believe.
Yeah.
But I know the 49ers defense is all banged up, but they've also been like they've been going through injuries all year, and they're still finding ways to hold teams just enough to outscore them. Like I know the whole point of defense is to not let them score, but sometimes if you can just hold them to one stop, so your team, like in the Bears game, they held them to that last stop on that last drive, which won them the game. And that's all you need is one stop if your offense can score every time. So, but I want to like Robert Salas has been doing a great job with that defense. I feel like he's been trying to fill holes. Everybody's getting injured. I think he's done a really great job with that defense. So,
I would agree.
As much as
Yeah,
I hate Brock Purdy, he is playing really good. Sorry, Cody, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, like I said, other than the Seahawks game, the last 7, 8 weeks, they've been putting up 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus points on
Yeah.
teams, regardless of their defensive prowess. I guess they split with the Rams, they split with the Seahawks, who I think we can all agree are kind of the top dogs in the NFC. So they've proved that they can really beat any team of that caliber, and I think that beating the Bears or beating the Rams or beating the Seahawks is probably more difficult than beating Philly at this point with their team. And I'm not taking anything away from Philly. I think Philly has one of the best defense in the league. And like I said, I mean, if their offense gets rolling, they have the talent to get 30 plus points. It's just whether they can figure that out or not. And I think that Brock is just so on point that if he keeps that up, especially in a playoff environment, where they're going to be opening up their playbook and going to be using a lot more different reads and things like that, I think that they can navigate a defense like Philly and score, 21 to 28 points. While Philly, I don't think can do the same thing. I think they'd put up, 21. I think it'd probably be like a 24, 21, 28, 21 Niners type game.
I think if you're the Eagles, the one plan that you have to get the lead early in this game, because if you let the Niners get at like a one score, maybe if they're up 10 points at some point and they start feeding the ball to McCaffrey, the game's gonna be over. I mean,
Yeah.
that was the whole time of this. The Seahawks led McCaffrey had 8 rushing attempts the entire game. That's his least. I'm pretty sure that's his least the entire season, and they scored 3 points, the lowest that the Niners have scored all season. I mean, McCaffrey's always been the center point of the offense. I mean, you have McCaffrey, you have Kittle, you have Purdy. I mean, you have those 3 that are your offensive weapons. But I mean, McCaffrey's still the lead horse in this game. If he doesn't have a good game, they're really not going to do so well. And that's why I think I'm going to pick. I still have the Eagles. I think that the front 7 or like even just the front 4 for the Eagles is dominant enough to limit the carries of McCaffrey and forcing them to pass the ball more. Which again is scary, but they also have Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell and all these really good corners and good linebackers that are able to hold Kittle to a couple catches of the game. They can play out in the flats to guard McCaffrey. They can do everything that you need to do to defend the Niners offense. And they just, like you said, I mean, it's not going to be a high scoring game. This Eagles offense hasn't really had high scoring games all season, but I think their defense is good enough to put these. I think that's going to be the Niners are going to score under 20 points. Just about how good I think the Eagles defense is, and that's why I'm picking them.
I mean, if the Niners don't score 20 points, I don't see them winning the game. It's just like I said, if you beat the Philly defense, you win the game. If you don't, you lose. And I think that the fact that you're only worrying about one side of the ball rather than both, when I would say that you'd have to worry about both with the Niners, is why I like them more. But
That's fair.
I mean, I would say I like Kyle Shanahan over Nick Sirianni in the matchup, but
I agree.
I don't think that necessarily makes a big enough difference for me just because I like Philly's defense that much, relative to just the game as a whole. Like, I'm really basically picking Philly's defense in this game. I mean, that's really what it comes down to is I'm picking Philly's defense over San Francisco's offense, I guess, but um, I think in Philly, that defense, Vic Fangio, I'm just gonna take them.
Is it going to be cold that game? Anyone know?
It's in
That could
Philly,
also
so
play
I
a
mean,
factor.
probably.
If it's like
But I mean,
under 30, I mean, I guess,
whoever has the best
I-
rushing game, and I mean, they have star tackles, they have star offensive line, and they both have a top 1, 2, 3 running back in the league.
But
So
if you were to tell me who's gonna actually be able to stop the run more efficiently, I would say Philly would be able to
Philly
do
would.
it. So
I mean, you saw what the Seahawks did against the Niners and that rushing attack. The Seahawks ran the ball all over them the entire game,
Yeah.
and it really hurt. I mean, that was the breaking part. Walker almost had 100 yards on the ground, and I think Charbonnet had 74. So I mean, I could see Saquon having a big game against them.
Yeah.
We can move on to the last game of the NFC, which is Bears versus Packers. Got a little NFC North Division rivalry action here in the wild card round.
I think this is the
uh,
closest game, 100%. But go ahead, Jackson.
yeah, I would probably say it's the closest game as well out of the three matchups. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and give me the Cheeseheads in this one. I know that's probably not really a popular pick right now. I know a lot of people aren't high on the Packers due to injuries and just kind of the way they've been playing down the stretch here. But before Jordan Love went out in Chicago, they were I mean, it wasn't like a crazy score. It was a pretty low scoring game anyways, but I felt like Green Bay was fairly in control of that game. And even when Malik Willis came in, they were still in control. I mean, it was a fourth quarter collapse by the Green Bay defense on the road in Chicago that basically resulted in their overtime loss. So I'm basically saying that Jordan Love playing the entire game is going to make a difference and that the Packers own the Bears. I mean, that it's really what it comes down to. Cool, the Bears got their win this year. Like, that was awesome. That was a heck of a play by Caleb Williams. That was just a heck of a game by the Bears in general. But the Packers own the Bears, and I mean, that's how it is. And it's playoff football. The Bears haven't been to the playoffs since the Mitchell Trubisky years. So, um,
Cody Parkey,
Packer,
double doink.
yeah, Packers are always a playoff team. They have experience. They have a good roster, and I just think they're able to go into Chicago and get it done.
I agree. I think it's going to be the Packers as well. And honestly, I don't think it's as much of a unpopular take as you think it is. Um, just because, like you said, we've already had 2 games with the Packers and the Bears. Hey, shout out Goose.
Goose.
And yeah, I mean, the first game they beat them. They hold control the entire game. The second game, you know, the entire Packers team seems to be getting hurt, and yet it still comes down to an overtime loss that honestly shouldn't have happened. I think that the Packers, like you said, their defense kind of fumbled that away, and they probably would have won that game as well. And Love didn't even play half the game, so yeah, I agree. If Love's in, if they're playing healthy, honestly, you take away the Bears' turnovers, like having the most turnovers in the league. Their defense isn't that great, you know. Um, and I think that they're going to be running a lot with uh, Josh Jacobs. They're going to be using all their weapons, and I it'll be close, but I still have the Packers. Packers do own the Bears. They have more playoff experience. Kind of just rehashing the same points, but that's really it. This is probably the one matchup this week that has the most history this season because they've already played each other twice in the last 5 weeks with their teams, and I haven't seen the Bears go against them and be like, yeah, this team's going to beat them in the playoffs. So yeah, I agree. I'll take the Packers as well.
Nathan, who do you got?
I got the Packers. I think I don't know. The Bears just don't look good against the Packers anytime they play. It's just like something about them. I don't know, but I think Jordan Love's fully healthy from his concussion. I think I don't know if Christian Watson's coming back. Does anybody know?
I don't see him on the injury report.
So he's healthy. So I think a healthy Packers team. I know they still got some injuries on defense with like Michael Parsons out, but I think that team held its own without Michael Parsons the last couple of weeks. So I really think the Packers could go into Soldier Field and get it done, win that game.
Wow, I'm surprised. I'm the only person picking the Bears here. I don't really know why everyone is so down on the Bears this season, when I feel like that they've shown time and time again that they're still like they're a good team. Like,
Did
yeah,
you
I
watch
guess you
the
lost.
Bears-Packers games?
I did watch the Bears Packers games,
Not
and
basing it off the Bears' regular season. We're basing it off of the previous two matchups they've had with the Packers.
I understand,
Yeah.
but I'm saying I don't understand why the Bears at home, and it's going to be snowy weather with one of the best rushing games in the league, are 1.5 point underdogs to the Packers right now, who are their injury history is not good. Like, they're 9-7-1. Jordan Love is coming off an injury. They're half their team, half their receivers coming off an injury. They probably have like one of the worst receiving cores in the league. I don't see how they can really do. I know I see your face, Cody. None of their receivers are that good. They're all
I would say they have
mediocre,
one of the best overall receiving cores in the league.
but none of them are star receiver talents. Like,
I
I'm
think
taking the
Christian
Bears wide
Watson's
receiver.
stars. I think Jaden Reed.
I'm
I think
taking the
Romeo
Bears.
Dobbs.
I'm taking the
are
Bears wide
great
receiver core
receivers.
over the Packers in a heartbeat.
I will give you that one. I do agree with you on that one. I'm not high on the Packers receiving room necessarily, either. Like, I would rather have the Bears receiving room as well. I mean, that doesn't change my pick, but
I'd rather have the running back duo of Monangai and Swift and a Ben Johnson offense than a Josh Jacobs, who I think was hurt a couple games ago. I don't know if he played in the last matchup. He hasn't played since the Ravens game, so I don't know if they just sat him, or I don't know if he's hurt
I
or
think they
what.
did sit
But
him because he was
'cause he-
playing through his injury, but I think they
Okay.
decided to sit him for the playoffs.
I just think that running back duo and a Ben Johnson offense in snowy weather, it's not going to be good weather in that game. I'm going to trust the better offensive coordinator. I'm not high on Matt LaFleur. I don't know how many of you guys are high on Matt LaFleur. I've not also super high on Jordan Love either. I know he's been playing good and he's been injured, but right now I'd probably take Caleb Williams over Jordan Love just based on how I've seen this season. Maybe not in their previous matchups, but I would rather have Caleb Williams. And defensive wise, I still think that this Bears defense, I mean, their front sevens on both teams are just terrible. But I
Taking
don't know what you
Caleb
guys make
Williams
these
over
faces
Jordan
for.
Love is
I
asinine.
don't think that's crazy of a
Completely
take.
asinine.
it is. It is
That's
a crazy take.
Well,
it is
if
pretty
you,
bad.
yeah,
I'm not the biggest Jordan Love guy either. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like singing his praises to the high heavens,
Yeah.
but
He plays
like,
pretty phenomenal football. Quite
And
a
so
bit.
does Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is
Caleb Williams plays
phenomenal
fourth
is
quarter
not the
football.
right
He
word.
plays fourth
and
quarter
guess what?
football.
And guess what? He wins games because of it.
So does Jordan Love.
And guess who's 9-7-1 right now versus who won the NFC North? All the teams
And
in the
the
NFC North are
matchup
above
is
500.
1-1.
because the Bears were playing a last place schedule.
Frankly,
They beat the
Packers should
Eagles
have
this
swept
season.
the Bears pretty easily. If the Packers didn't lose half their fucking squad during the game, it would have been a sweep. And Malik Willis was dotting them up too.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not talking about I know the Bears defense is not good. The Niners put up 40 points on them, and they didn't look good in the last regular season of the game. I'm saying I trust the Bears more and a Ben Johnson head coaching offense in Chicago, where I know the fans are going to be. They haven't made the playoffs since what, 2019?
When
you
did
know-
the Bears make the playoffs? 1987?
With Mitch Trubisky, they had the double doink against the Eagles.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying the fans are going to be crazy over there. Like, it's going to be. I think this game's going to be close.
There's going to
but,
be a lot of Packers fans there too.
Fans
You don't think
travel
Packers
well.
fans are going to stack Soldier Field?
I know they will, but I'm saying I'm still trusting the Bears to win this game at home in bad weather.
But you keep talking about bad weather. If they played in Green Bay, it would be the same exact weather.
Packers
And
are one of the best bad weather
Probably
teams.
even
But I'm
worse.
still saying
I think-
I'm trusting the better running back duo of Monangai and Swift over a Josh Jacobs who's been hurt basically a couple weeks of the past season and Emmanuel Wilson. I don't trust Matt LaFleur.
Don't diss my boy Emmanuel Wilson, bro.
Emmanuel Wilson
I just
is
don't
a
trust
dog.
Matt LaFleur.
No, he's like Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson are great. They have been great. Josh Jacobs has been extremely efficient whenever they've needed
They're
him
not
to
as
be.
good as Swift and Monungai.
I know they're not as
Yeah,
good
but
as
it's
Swift
not
and
as
Monungai.
it's
Not a
not
running back
but
game. It's a football game.
It's going to be a running
There's
back
11
game. This
players
entire
on the
game is
field on both sides.
it's going to
No,
be a running
It's
back game.
not
I'm
Kyle
telling you now. It's going to
Monungai
be the team.
versus
It's going
the
to be the team
fucking
that can.
world.
It's going to be
Like,
it's going to be whoever can have the possession of the ball more because of how good their run game is between
and
them.
you're acting like the fucking receiving core of the Packers is just 5 Kadarius Tonys.
It's
Like
not
3
good.
of those guys
It's
are wide
not
receiver
good. It's
ones on
not
half the
good.
teams in the
It's
league.
not good. They're not.
but the
Christian
running
Watson
back
is not
Romeo
making.
Dobbs,
the
Jaden Reed, and
gap is
Christian
No,
not
Watson
that
are
no.
better than
much.
Jaden Reed
every
is terrible.
single Bears
No.
receiver.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
What, you're taking
Luther
over
Burden is
DJ
better than
Moore?
all of them.
Luther,
Yes, I'm
oh
taking
my.
Yes, I'm taking JJ Moore over them.
You're
Yes, I'm
just
taking
saying
JJ. Yes,
shit.
I'm taking Roma Dunze over them. Luther Burden on the past 4 weeks has been on a tear. I don't even know if Roma Dunze is even playing right now, but
No, he hasn't. He hasn't been playing.
Colson
I don't
Loveland
think
since
he's
like their
playing
bye week
again.
has been like the second
The
best
only
talent in the
reason you
league
don't say
statistically
that
behind
about
Trey
those
McBride.
Packers receivers is because there's 5 of them that all get used
They're
evenly.
5 mediocre receivers. And you try to spread out the ball and it doesn't work. What
I'm
has
not
Matthew
saying they're
Golden done?
superstars,
He's
I'm saying they're
terrible.
great,
What is
though.
it? And half of them get hurt every other week of the game. You never have them all healthy at once because they're
What does
all
that have to do with anything?
terrible
Whenever they play
ass
great.
receivers. Dontavian Wicks is
And
already
even if
out
they
for this
don't,
game, bro.
you have Matthew Golden, you have Dontavian
Matthew
Wicks, who
Golden is
all play great when they
terrible.
need to.
He is terrible. Luther Burden
Oh,
clears Matthew Golden.
brother.
It's not even close.
I'm not saying Matthew Golden is fucking Jamar Chase. I'm saying that he's a good option.
I understand it, but I'm saying Christian Watson has 600 yards in the season. I'm pretty sure every Bears receiver has more than that.
Yeah, because he got hurt. Like I said, they all have
Romeo
600
Dobbs.
yards. You look at all of them;
Romeo
they're
Dobbs
all
is 700.
split.
Yes, and it's the same with the Bears. And I'm taking the Bears over that.
All right. So, anyways, kind of recapping it here, guys. Asher is picking the Chicago Bears. The rest of us, myself, Cody, and Nathan, are taking the Green Bay
Go
Packers
Pack,
to
go.
win this one. We've kind of gotten a little bit off track into now just dissing and breaking down each other's rosters.
Also, I think
So
that
I'll
the
let them
Bears.
say one more word and then we're going to transition here.
I think the Packers
To the
have a
AFC.
much better defense, even without Micah Parsons, than the Bears. I think that the Bears only have really one superstar on defense, and that's Jalen Johnson, who hasn't even done that much this year compared to other corners in the league. And
I agree.
I just
Who
think
do the
that
Packers
the
have?
Packers can exploit that. They have Rashawn
they got
Gary.
Nixon.
They have. I'm
Oh,
not
they just,
saying that they
they
have a bunch of
signed- they
superstars
just
either. I'm
signed
saying that
Diggs.
their defense is better overall, even without Parsons.
Nixon is horrible, bro.
Yeah, Nixon.
I know.
Nixon's always like he's either getting flagged at the end of the game or he's like in perfect position and then just drops the ball. Just oh my gosh, he's the funniest player to watch on the Green Bay defense. He'll probably be the reason why they win or lose this game. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They also got Trayvon Diggs.
Oh yeah, that's
They
true.
did get
If they let him
Trayvon
play.
Yeah.
I think they'll
Yeah.
let him play.
I think he played good in his
I
first game back.
thought they signed him in enough time. Did they not?
Oh yeah, they did. I just
Uh,
didn't know if he was going to get acclimated to the system or not.
Depends.
I think he played
I
last
think
game.
they would.
But
I think.
Anyways,
he played
guys.
better than most corners.
That is our NFC playoff predictions. We're going to go through the AFC side now, and then we're going to come back and pick our team that's coming out of the NFC and pick our team that's coming out of the AFC. Starting off in the AFC, though, we have a very interesting matchup, in my opinion, between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be the home team in this one. They won the AFC North with Tyler Loop's missed field goal from Baltimore. And the Houston Texans are coming in as one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Their defense has sealed themselves as number 1 in the league, in my opinion. And their offense has definitely been picking it up as well. CJ Stroud's been playing some pretty good football. And I don't know. Let's hear your guys' thoughts.
Cody left, but he's back. I'm taking the Texans in this game. I think that they're just too hot they're too on a roll right now for the Steelers. And it's Aaron Rodgers, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers would have some vintage playoff game with them, and they get DK Metcalf back. But I mean, I don't really see anything stopping this Texans defense. I think if Myles Garrett didn't break the sack record this year, Will Anderson would probably be the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, or at least be in contention for it. Just of how much he's a staple to this Texans defense. I mean, right now they're on a 9-game win streak. They would be on a 11-game win streak, probably if CJ Stroud didn't get hurt in the Broncos game. I feel like, I'm just dissing you guys just because, but like before they beat the Niners, they already beat the Jags, who are, the 3 seed in that. They beat the Bills by 4. They beat the Chargers by 4. I mean, they've already beat these playoff teams, and they've shown that their defense is great and that CJ Stroud has been playing good when he's been healthy. And I think that they have the playoff experience from the past 2 seasons with CJ Stroud in there, and he's played good in his postseason games that he has played in. I think he won a playoff game in his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken, and he brought him back again last year. And I think that's why I'm going to take them. I don't really trust this Steelers offense. I don't think really anybody does. I mean, besides DK Metcalf, your number one receiving option is Calvin Austin, and I mean, yeah, he had the game-winning touchdown catch against the Ravens, but
You got Uncle Raj though. Big
it
playoff.
depends. I mean, it just, I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to have to play. Like, the offensive line for the Steelers, they're going to have to max protect Aaron Rodgers the entire game. Like, I'm expecting Rodgers to take like 5 sacks this game. He's mobile. He's mobile-ish, but he's not mobile. Like, he can't evade sacks like he used to. And
He's going to be taking 5 rips of ayahuasca.
He's going to be doing some smelling salts and some shrooms on the sideline, like before every single snap in the huddle or something.
His blue tent is going to turn into a cave.
Yeah.
No, literally, it's going to be his psychedelics person is just going to be back there, just like, it's okay, Aaron. You can retire after the season. It's okay. But I just don't think it's going to be close. I'm still surprised that those are 10-7 and that they won the AFC North. I think that if it was the Ravens, this game, I mean, I still think the Texans would win, but like, I think the Ravens would put up a better shot than the Steelers would.
I think if Tyler Loop makes that kick, I think Mike Tomlin gets the John Harbaugh treatment.
I think even if John Harbaugh would still get fired if they like got blown out, lost to the Texans. I think Tomlin's still out.
Would get fired.
I think he's going to still get fired. No, but I think he still should.
No, I think he should.
I think it's going to be a situation where he's going to have to resign before they fire him at this point. I mean, he's been around for so long. Yeah,
it'll be
a mutual parting.
Like a Bill Belichick.
Yeah. I'm going to actually take a shot in the dark here in this one, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Steelers in this game. It's just kind of been a weird year for the Steelers. And obviously, I know Houston Texans are hot right now. But it's just something in my gut that Uncle Raj, he's got one left in him. I don't know what's telling me that. And I don't know what's telling me that I can trust the Steelers defense because I really don't think I can.
Highest paid.
But I think the Steelers got one more shot left in them, and I think this is the shot that they pull. I think this is where they kind of like. I think that they're one and done. Right? I think they win, then they lose in the next round. But I think they come out, get it done. It's in Pittsburgh, so it's outdoors in Pittsburgh, kind of similar to the Philadelphia San Francisco conversation we were having earlier with the elements. Houston plays in a dome. The AFC South historically is a warm weather conference, right? Colts play in a dome. Jaguars are Florida, and the Titans are probably the coldest team,
and they're about to move to a dome.
Yeah, so I think the outdoor and playing in weather is going to have a factor, and I don't really have any other reasons, to be honest with you guys. Like, there's no statistical data for my pick. Like, I really don't. Like, nothing statistic wise tells me that the Steelers are going to win. It's just in my gut. I think the Steelers are going to get it done.
Yeah, the Steelers are a statistical improbability just about every year because you look at that roster and you're like, that team isn't making the playoffs. But as much as I would love to see Uncle Raj go in there and beat the Steelers because, then we'd face them in the second round, it's going to be the Texans. I think they have probably the 1B defense in the league. And
who's 1A for you then, if you don't mind me asking?
For what?
Oh,
because I have the Texans at 1A.
Probably the Tennessee Titans.
For what? 1A for what? I missed that part.
No, you said that the Texans have the 1B defense.
1B? So I said, yeah. I think 1A is, it's this other team. I don't know. Some people watch it. The horses. I think some anime people really like this team.
I think in the AFC or in the NFL.
CFL. It's the Broncos, guys. It's the Broncos.
Hey,
all
hey,
right.
I'll take it. I
No,
was just
I'm
asking
asking
to
your
clarify who your
question.
1A team was. Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
talking
my
about in
1A
the
team is the
NFL? Or are you talking
Broncos.
about in the
Oh, I thought
NFL or
you were
in?
just like baiting me into like
No,
giving
No.
I'm asking him
Broncos
through
No.
the whole
No,
NFL
no.
or in the A or just in the AFC
in the
itself.
NFL. In the NFL,
Yeah, I
think
was just
1A,
genuinely
1B,
asking who
Texans,
you had at 1A
Oh.
and 1B.
I thought you were
Okay,
like saying it
interesting.
sarcastically, being like,
No.
"Oh yeah, you like the Broncos, then, don't you?"
No. No.
No, I think that the Broncos are the 1A, and the Texans are the 1B, but I think it flips game by game. I think the Texans just have that defense, and I don't think that the Steelers, even with DK Metcalf back, can handle that. Even if they have their like little jumbo coverage thing with Washington that they're going to go and do some shenanigans with. I think that it'll be close. I don't think that it's just going to be the Texans blowing them out of the water. But I think, if the Texans are playing with the offense that they've had in the last half of the season, which we didn't see in the first half of the season, but if they continue playing like that, if CJ Stroud plays well, if their O line holds, um, I think the Texans win it. I'm high on the Texans. Unfortunately, I think whoever wins this game is probably going to face the Patriots in the next round. But overall, I'm going to take the Texans just purely based off the defense, similar to kind of you guys with the Philly and Niners situation. But the Steelers are a much lesser caliber team, so I don't think it's as crazy to just be basing it off the defense rather than anything else.
I think the offense of the Eagles though completely outweighs the offense of the Texans.
Yeah.
Like if we're comparing the two,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
It's
not
just
really
like-
high on the Texans offense like either. I just think that the disparity between the two sides of the ball, like the Texans offense versus the Steelers offense, I feel like is pretty even. But I think the defensive side, the Texans completely wash the Steelers in that sense. I mean, yeah, the Steelers defense is good, and it's underrated, I would say. But I can't put. I mean, I think the Texans have the second best defense in the league. So
Yeah. Who's your what?
Hey
I
guys,
have Seattle. I have
Texans.
Seattle on one for defense. So
That's fair.
I wouldn't even say
I
that
think-
at the biased taste either, or
No,
biased
that's
take either.
not bias.
I think if we're looking back at the Broncos' recent games and of how their defense is playing, it hasn't been as good as the first half of the season.
Yeah, since our
Rather
bye
than
week.
like, I think the Seahawks defense, it's been getting healthier. We're actually getting. I think we've had one full game of the Seahawks defense like fully actually healthy. And I think we're coming together more as a defense now than we did at the beginning of the season. Whereas I think the Broncos started off the season really strong, and I wouldn't say they're dying out at all. I think they're like my number 3 defense, but they're just not
I
playing to the
thought-
standard that they were at the beginning of the season. Is what
I
that's just what
thought
I have.
last game, I know we were playing against second strings, but I thought our defense played a lot better against the Chargers than it has been in the last like 5 weeks before
I
that.
also played good
so.
against Trey Lance, so
Anyways, I have the Texans winning that game. I think. I don't know. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is mobile enough to evade enough sacks. I think he's going to take hits all night. He's probably going to have close to like 15 QB hits by the end of the night. Not saying sacks, but just QB hits. And I don't think that'll be good for that's how you kill a drive. One sack kills a drive. So I don't know. I think it will be very difficult for that Steelers offense to move the ball in that Houston defense. So I think, and CJ Stroud's been playing good enough to win games right now. So, and he's been getting better throughout the weeks when he's healthy. So,
yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you have a healthy Texans team, I mean, if they can stay healthy throughout the game. CJ Stroud actually plays. I mean, even Davis Mills is competent enough quarterback to win you a game. Playoff game, I'm not too sure, but it's against the Steelers. I mean, I think out of they're the second worst team in the entire playoffs, in my opinion. I think the Texans
Who's the
again.
first? The Texans.
I think the Panthers are worse than the Steelers.
Okay.
But the Texans again they're on a 9-game win streak. I would say they're probably the hottest team in the league right now. They're just I think they're just unstoppable right now. I mean, they literally won the game last week because Kyrie Fairbairn hit 5 or 6 field goals, and that's all they. Like, their defense stopped them enough. They got in field goal range enough. That's all they needed. But Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess next game, Jags Bills
Jags
in Jacksonville.
in Jacksonville.
Who's predicted to win this? I think it's Jags.
I think
Jags
the
minus
Jags are.
1.5. Jags minus 1.5 right now. What's your guys' thoughts on this game?
I've got Jags.
Yeah.
I know everybody's high on Buffalo right now. You know, technically, I do believe in Buffalo's offense, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on Jacksonville's defense. And I have just seen it firsthand what the Jaguars' offense is capable of doing to a really good defense. So if we're going to compare what the Jaguars' offense might do to the Bills' defense, I mean, it might look like a freaking homicide. Um, I, I think the Jags are going to put up like 40 points. And I just think their defense is good enough to hold Buffalo in check. It's in Jacksonville. Jacksonville should have the advantage there. And Trevor Lawrence is playing at an elite level right now. Liam Cohen is coaching at an elite level right now. Jacksonville just honestly, they feel like I know you guys are saying the Texans are kind of your hottest team right now. I almost feel like the Jaguars are hotter
I think the
than the
Jaguars are
Texans.
hotter as well.
I think they're just playing at an unbelievable level right now, and I I just I think they're gonna beat the Bills. I think the Bills can keep it close, but I would not be surprised if this gets out of hand by the third halfway through the third quarter, early fourth quarter.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I'll have the Jags as well. I've seen a lot of people. I don't know if you guys watched Nerd Sesh's thing of who they picked. And one of their predictions, they had the Bills winning the Super Bowl. I can't see this Bills team making it this far. I mean, they've made it this far, but I can't see them making a deep run in the postseason with how poor their defense has been playing. And this is probably Josh Allen's worst year statistically for like turnover wise. I think he has like 12. He has 10 interceptions this season. Um, I think he's kind of playing a little reckless football this so far. Obviously, he needs to hold on to the ball, like play some conservative ball, but it's Josh Allen. He's not going to do that. And I agree. I totally think this Jags offense is on a tear right now, and their defense is probably top 5 right now for me of how they've been playing recently. They held the Chargers earlier in the season to 6 points. I think that they held the Broncos to 20 points and they put up 34 on them. I mean, Cody just had them as the best defense in the league as their 1A, and the Jags team put up 34 points against them. I wouldn't say I don't think it's going to be like the game could get out of hand in the third quarter. I think the Bills, I mean, it's Josh Allen in the playoffs. He's been statistically one of the best like playoff performers. Maybe not win wise, but just statistically wise. Probably like I think like in recent memory of how good that he's been. So I think he'll manage that. He'll keep that game close just because it's just how it is. But I have the Jags winning this one as well. And I think this is also the year that if the Bills get blown out, I think Sean McDermott might be out as the Bills head coach. If they get blown out in this game, I think that the Bills might just be done with him if they can't get it done.
I have the Jags winning this game as well. Fortunately, I don't know because I think if the Jags win this game, we face the Texans. The Broncos face the Texans. If the Jags lose this game, Broncos face Buffalo, which I don't really want to see either of those teams. To be honest with you, I'd rather see the Chargers. To be honest with you, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I like how hot the Jags are. I think it depends on what kind of Josh Allen shows up. If it was the Josh Allen in the second half of that second Patriots game, I think the Bills can win that game. But if it's not, and it depends also how well the Bills run game can get going. If James Cook can, because that I don't know what game it was, but James Cook had 6 carries for 100 yards or 9 carries for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. If they can get that moving like that, I don't think they're going to be pretty hard to beat. But I do think the Jags are a lot harder, and I don't think the Bills defense could hold the Jags. So
I think I'm the only one that's choosing the Bills here. As much as I would love the Jags to win and beat the Bills as a Patriots fan, I think the Bills are going to win it. I think other than the Patriots, the Bills are probably the most likely to make it to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Josh Allen's just the best player in the National Football League, regardless of like MVP voting and anything like that. He just is. Um, James Cook, leading rusher in the league. I think their offense is electric, and I think that we're deep. The Bills' defense isn't the greatest, especially their run defense. But I think we're sleeping on their secondary. Their secondary really isn't that bad, and I think that a lot of the Jaguars' offensive scheme is based over the air. I think if the Jags focus on their run game, which they are very good with as well, with Travis Etienne and everything like that, I think that they would win the game. But if they're doing a lot more balance, if they're doing a lot more through the air like they have been, um, I think that the Bills can overwhelm them offensively. I think that they can run the ball down their throat, and then Josh Allen could do what Josh Allen does with what he has. Um, I think that their offense is just better whenever it needs to be. And the Bills have had a lot more lackluster games than the Jaguars, but the Bills are probably out of every AFC team have had the most like deep playoff experience out of everybody except for maybe the Steelers, I guess, if you're counting like Aaron Rodgers. Um, and overall, I think the Bills I think are probably going to reach the AFC Championship, and this is going to be one of their tougher games, but I think that the Bills have it. I think it'll be high scoring. I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense, but Josh Allen is just Josh Allen. And there's not a lot to back it up statistically. Like you said, he's had a lot more turnovers this year, but then, like you said, he goes the second half during the Patriots and he looks like one of the greatest players you've ever seen play the game. And then in other games, he doesn't. But that hasn't happened since like middle of the season where Josh Allen's had a bad game statistically. Um, and Trevor Lawrence, I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's great. Doesn't really have the playoff experience to handle a team like the Bills, regardless of their lackluster defensive performance, and that's why I personally have the Bills.
I would say Trevor Lawrence came back that one game against the Chargers, like what was like 2 years ago. That was that crazy comeback in the playoff, the wild card game.
Yeah,
That's about all the
I
playoff
thought it
experience
was.
he has.
I thought it was the opposite.
No, Trevor Lawrence came back
No?
against Jets because
Oh,
yes, Trevor
Herbert
Lawrence.
hasn't won a playoff game.
Yeah,
Oh,
So
yeah, that's right. Okay,
Mr. If.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind the like Josh Allen, James Cook, two of the best players in football, and that would probably be the reason why. Um, but other
Yeah.
than that, I kind of disagree with you on all the other stuff. To be completely honest with you, so
that's fair. And
You
I
should
think
just
that saying that it's all based off one player really doesn't work with anybody other than Josh Allen and
Josh
Patrick
Allen,
Mahomes.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is fair.
Which is fair. That's the only reason why I think, like I said, I think Josh Allen can keep that game close because he's Josh Allen. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, single-handedly in the Ravens game, week 1, single-handedly won them that game. Like, he has that superstar mentality. He is like he was the MVP last year.
And really, I mean, if you're the Bills, like you said with Sean McDermott, if they don't win it this year, they're never winning it.
Yeah, this is
This
literally is the year that the Bills have to win it. No Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow. Like, if there's any time for an experienced playoff or quarterback playoff performer to like shine and like take the reins, it has to be this year with Josh Allen. So
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Jackson, we're gonna move on to the next game of Patriots Chargers. Jackson can go first for this
Yep.
one.
So, um, I know a lot of people are actually picking the Chargers in this one for some reason. To be quite frank with you, I don't see that really in any realm. I do think Justin Herbert has been playing some pretty good football down the stretch, and the Chargers as a whole have been playing good football down the stretch, but the Patriots are just playing better. I think they have a better team, better. I like Harbaugh, but to be quite honest with you, I think Vrabel is a much better coach, and I think he's been that way even when he was on the Titans. I always thought he elevated his teams more than anybody else in the league. Drake May is playing at an MVP level. You have Travion Henderson or Mondre Stevenson, just all these different things that the Patriots can throw at you. The one caveat would be, hey, maybe Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater are actually playing and they're back, then maybe you can have a little bit of a conversation there. But in Foxborough, playoff time, I just don't see it. Herbert hasn't won a playoff game, so you can't really make the thing like, oh, the Patriots don't have a lot of playoff experience with this roster, and Drake May hasn't ever played a playoff game, blah, blah, blah. It's like Herbert's never won one. So there's no real like advantage there for the Chargers. So I just like the Patriots straight up. I don't foresee it being. I think it could be close, but I like the Patriots by about a touchdown or more. And then I'm gonna go ahead and say my Super Bowl pick real quick. You guys can go ahead and keep talking and stuff. I just recently got a puppy to those listening, and it's he's kind of acting up a little bit, so he uh um he needs to get put down in a in a
Put
nice
down.
sleepy way.
Bro,
In a nice
literally.
sleepy way.
Get,
In a
get
nice
put
sleepy
down,
way.
bro. Who's like 4 months old.
In a nice sleepy way.
Oh my
So
gosh.
for my Super Bowl prediction, I know that there's a lot of things that can go uh different ways with the playoffs and matchups and everything. And I know this is not going to be like the sexy pick by any means. I'm just going to go Broncos Seahawks straight across. Give me both of the 1 seeds. I think both of them having home field advantage in the playoffs is just going to really boost their chances. I think both of them have elite defenses, um, elite rosters around them, elite coaches. Now, here's the interesting piece about my Super Bowl prediction. I actually think the quarterbacks for both teams are going to be the weakness in the playoffs. Um, I don't I don't know. Um,
That's not
right,
what I
like
take, in my opinion.
I, yeah, Sam Darnold hasn't really proven it to me. I know everybody's like, Sam Darnold, he's fine. He's a good quarterback, and he has proven it in the playoffs. Respectfully, no, he hasn't. And respectfully, I know you guys beat the Rams in Seattle a couple weeks ago, but respectfully, he was dog water. He wasn't good in that game until the fourth quarter. And he didn't really win you guys that game. Your defense and special teams did, respectfully.
That's been the
Um,
entire season. So
so
we're used to it.
that's my biggest catch and asterisk is Bo Nix and Sam Darnold. So put that asterisk next to my Super Bowl matchup, but that's how I see it right now. That's my matchup, and I will be back next week to discuss in further detail with everybody. But I hope the rest of the episode goes good. Thank you for listening to my takes,
Thanks,
and
dude.
catch you guys on the
Love.
next one.
Don't kill your
Thanks,
dog.
dude.
Peace.
Tell Goosey
I
say
won't.
hi.
All right, I will.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
right.
I guess I can go for
Yeah, I'll
mine.
go last.
I so badly want to pick the Chargers because like Justin Herbert's my guy. Like if there's any quarterback in the AFC that I've like stood behind this entire season, it's Justin Herbert, and I know you guys know that. Like I don't you guys know how much I'm not really like glazing Herbert here. I just like I have a gut feeling, and the gut feeling saying Chargers, and I know it's gonna bite me in my butt when the Patriots mollywop them like 35-7. Like that's gonna be my score prediction for the game. But I'm still just gonna take the Chargers just because Justin Herbert's my guy, and I think that he can do it. But it's not a good look for them. I think this Patriots defense has been honestly underrated. I would say like they're a good defense, and especially with Christian Gonzalez, he's the top 5 corner in the league. I honestly haven't watched many Patriots games if they weren't on primetime, just because I just felt like there were other favorable matchups for me to watch instead. Yes, the Patriots have had an easy schedule. Um, the the Chargers are just so hurt, and they really don't have anybody. I mean, the one good thing about their team is their defense, which I guess could scare Drake May, but Drake May is the most efficient quarterback in the league right now. They have a really good running back duo with Henderson and blanking on his name, Ramondre. There we go. I did see a stat though. I was looking up just Chargers Patriots on Twitter, and since week 10, the Chargers have the second best defense per EPA over the past 10 weeks, and that statistically the Chargers have the best defense that the Patriots will play all season long. So that's something to take notes of. Drake May in a playoff, sense he doesn't have experience. But then again, like Jackson said earlier, Herbert hasn't won a playoff game. He has never made it out of the wild card. Because I don't think the Chargers have ever won. No, they haven't. Yeah, he's never made it out of the wild card in his career.
They've never won the division either.
And so it's just like, I don't really know why it's only, what is it, a 3.5 point spread? I understand the playoff game, but like, I'm just switch my pick. I'm going to pick the Patriots. Like, I want Justin Herbert. I want the Chargers to win so badly, but I really just can't bet against the Patriots. They're on a roll right now. Again, Vrabel's one of the Coach of the Year candidates. He's not my pick to win it, but I mean, Drake May is my MVP vote to win this season. And when in the past, since the Panthers game in week 4, the only other game you guys have lost is the Bills by 4 points. It's just inevitable. It's inevitable that the Patriots are going to win, in my opinion. And I think that the spread is 3.5 is pretty like bad. I would say we should be more, but that's my take. Nathan can go next.
Yeah, sadly, against all of my heart, I'm gonna pick the Patriots to win. Fortunately,
You
I'd
want the
love to
Chargers
see
to
the
win.
I would love the Chargers to win. I would rather face the Chargers in Mile High again than facing either the Jags, Bills, Texans, Steelers. Actually, that's not true. I'd rather play the Steelers, but I don't think the Steelers make it past the Texans. But I do think the Patriots are going to win that game. I don't think, I don't know. I think there's not going to be a lot of defense. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think 100 like
I agree.
I think it's going to be one of the highest scoring games of the week
What's the
because
over-under?
I don't
I think it was
know.
like
I know the
43.
Patriots.
45
I know
and
the
a half.
Patriots have a
45.
decent defense. They have like a top 12 defense. I don't know.
It's
I haven't
probably
really
somewhere
watched
in the
that.
10.
Yeah, it's fair.
Maybe.
It's
I don't know.
above
I
there.
haven't really
It's above
watched any
average.
Patriots game.
It's above
though.
average. So
I think we went
But-
we went like 10 games of scoring above 23 and then allowing below 23, but that was the only stat I can think of off the top of my head, but keep going.
that seems about right.
I just haven't watched a lot of Patriots games. That's why I just said top 12 because I didn't want to like. They
About right.
100% could be top 10, but I just don't. I think Justin Herbert will move and take over the game, and I just think it'll be a shootout the entire time. I just think the Patriots. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling in Foxborough, Patriots will take it home. I don't think it's gonna be like it's gonna be like a one-score game. I feel like.
I feel like I might take it back. Actually, I think this is gonna be a low-scoring game. I think just in the sense because I think what the Chargers need to do to win is limit the amount of time that Drake May has the football, because he's the most efficient passer. The Patriots, what they're going to do, I feel like, is they're going to want to eat the clock out because they don't want to give the ball to Justin Herbert. They know how good Justin Herbert as a quarterback. I mean, he's up there. I mean, their weapons aren't crazy good, but neither are the Patriots. So it's like they can just chip away at running the football on both sides. I think Hampton is going to have a good amount of carries. And I honestly don't really want Herbert to sit in the pocket all too long. I mean, he already has a broken left wrist that he had to get surgery on, and he's injury prone. They have no offensive line, like the worst graded offensive line like ever. I think it'll be lower scoring than people think, but yeah, still, I mean, I really wish the Chargers could win this game just because I have, of course, Herbert, but it's not happening. Nathan, what do you think Drake May's gonna win MVP before we get to Cody's thing? Like if you had a vote, who would you vote for, Stafford or Drake May? Just real quick, and we can move on to Cody. I mean, that's
I'm sorry, Cody.
It's respectable.
I don't know.
I see
You can
the
go
side
into
of
why
both.
Drake May is the MVP.
I see
after my
both
take.
sides, but
I see both sides only because of Stafford's strength of schedule over Drake May's strength of schedule is the only thing that I would see for Stafford, and obviously
that's
the yards
never
and
been a
touchdowns.
factor in any other thing ever, but any
No,
other
just this
MVP.
year.
Well,
Sorry,
my
can you think of
MVP
another MVP time where strength of schedule has been one of the leading arguments for either one?
My MVP this year is Justin Herbert. But
Asher, Justin Herbert.
if we're going off of just the most valuable player to a
Justin
team,
Herbert will never win MVP.
Yeah,
no,
that's
because his
crazy
team isn't
on
good
that.
enough.
Successful on the Chargers.
No, okay,
He will
I'm not
never
saying
be successful.
he's actually gonna win the MVP. I'm saying like genuinely, probably the most valuable player on a team right now would probably be Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes.
But here's the thing:
Myles Garrett.
back to Drake May and Matthew Stafford. Drake May and Matthew Stafford, the Rams and the Patriots have played 6 of the same teams, and in those games, Drake May is 6-0, Matthew Stafford is 4-2, and Drake May has been statistically better in every single stat versus those same opponents. So whenever we're talking about strength of schedule, we've played 6 of the same teams, and Drake May has played statistically better.
That they lost. Oh yeah, Panthers Falcons.
Yeah.
Stafford lost.
And whenever you're looking at it, the only 2 stats that mean anything that Stafford has over Drake May is passing yards and passing touchdowns. which passing yards, if you think about total yards in terms of rushing, because Matthew Stafford doesn't rush at all, it's very similar within like 100, I think. And with touchdowns, yeah, he has like what 12 more touchdowns. But guess what? The Rams pass on the 1 yard line more than any other team in the league by like 30-40%. I think like 13 of his touchdowns are on the 1 yard line. When we can do the same thing. I mean, if Drake, there's probably 15 other times that Drake May could have gotten a passing touchdown, but he didn't because they ran it with Ramondre or the other thing. But whenever we think about it, best completion percentage in the league by a mile, best yards per attempt by a mile, which both of those together is just insane because you can't even say check down merchant whenever he's the deepest passer in the league statistically. Best EPA per play, just every single stat, every average depth per attempt. Whenever you look at any single stat other than those two, the passing yards and the passing touchdowns, it all goes to Drake May statistically. Whenever you're looking at it from each passing play, I think if you take Stafford out of Los Angeles, I think they go down to like maybe 9-8. I think if you take Drake May out of the Patriots, they go down to 4-13 again. I think that Drake May
Not winning
is
the division.
because here's the thing. It's not who's the best player. It's not the Heisman, right? It's the most valuable player. And I think that Drake May is way more valuable to the Patriots and their organization than Stafford is because they were doing good with Jared Goff. Now they didn't win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, but they played well.
Still
And
competent, yeah.
here's the thing. Matthew Stafford isn't even the best player on his team. It's Puka Nacua.
Puka.
But that's my
say
that's
that
my
about
take
Drake
on
May.
MVP.
Drake
Who's
May's the
better?
best player on the Patriots. Christian Gonzalez,
Nope.
honestly. I would say
Yeah,
probably I
I
could
mean,
take
yeah,
Gonzalez.
I meant
that would be the
offense.
only
Offense.
Oh yeah. That'd be the only player would be Gonzalez, but Drake May
Yeah.
clears everybody else on the Patriots. Like
Yeah.
dude, he led Stephon Diggs post ACL tear to 1,000 receiving yards. That's insane. That's
He made
insane.
Mac
Like
Hollins look like a phenomenal player every time I see him play.
so did Josh
Mac
Allen,
Hollins.
and that's Josh Allen, one of the best players in the league. If there
Yeah, I
was a
don't know
most
why they ever
improved
let go
player,
of Mac Hollins.
if there's a most improved player award, it would be to Drake May.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not a thing in the NFL, but Cody, you can get onto your take of,
I mean,
Patriots.
we all know that I'm going to be choosing the Chargers for this game, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But I seriously don't know why people are choosing the Chargers in this game. I mean, Justin Herbert's good and everything like that, but you're thinking it's the Patriots Chargers in Gillette in the dead of winter. It's not going to be a super cold game. I think it's going to be like 40 and raining or something like that. But like you said, Justin Herbert, he's never won a playoff game. And I think we're the healthiest team probably going into the playoffs out of every team in the playoffs currently because we're going to get Will Campbell back, which is a huge buff to our O-line. And honestly, more importantly, we're going to get Milton Williams back. And when Milton Williams was in, we had the best run defense in the league. When he got injured, that's when our kind of defense faltered a little bit. But whenever he was in the league, we didn't even have a 50-yard rusher. So with Milton Williams and Christian Barmore on that line, they're not going to be able to run. Even if O'Marion Hampton comes back, which I think he will, O'Marion Hampton and Kamani Vidal, they're going to keep on trying to run, and it's not going to work. And they're going to pass, it's not going to work. I mean, you're going to have Lad McConkey on Christian Gonzalez. It's just like that's a hydrogen bomb versus a coughing baby. I don't see it being very close. I agree with Asher. I don't think it's going to be a shootout, to be honest. It could be, but I think that both of our defenses are good enough to where it's not going to be. If I was to guess, I think that it's going to be us by about 10, and that's just say it's bias or not, but I think it would be something like
reasonable.
28-18 or something like that. But yeah, I like the Chargers. It's just not their year. It's just another what if scenario for Justin Herbert, unfortunately. But our offense is healthy, other than I think like Kayshon Boutte might be hurt or Mac Hollins. Stephon Diggs is still going to be playing. Christian Barmore is still going to be playing, bar their investigations and stuff like that. But
Kayshon Boutte's questionable.
yeah,
From what I see.
But Travion will be there. Ramondre will be there. Our O-line's going to be fully healthy. I think maybe Garrett Bradbury might be injured, or no, I think he's like sick. I think he'll be fine. But overall, we're very healthy. We're a very good team, and I think that we're going to just probably manhandle the Chargers. I don't think it's going to be very close. I think that we're going to kind of run away from it early, and I think that we're just going to keep on it. I don't think that Drake is going to fall under the auspices of primetime playoffs. People were saying that he might not play up to par whenever he played primetime versus the Bills, and he went out there and he won that game and he played phenomenally. I don't see this as any different, and I think that the Chargers are a much lower echelon team than the Bills are. I don't think that it's going to be very close, personally.
That's fair. I don't think Drake May is going to put up some crazy stats. I think he's just going to play
He's just going to play
his
efficient
role in the
football like usually.
offense, and he just plays role. So, Cody, I want to ask, as a Patriots fan, are you picking the Patriots to win the AFC then?
Yes.
I'm unbiasedly.
Yeah, like if we were a 7th seed, I'd say no. Like whenever we went to the playoffs with Mac Jones our first year, I wouldn't have said that we were going to win the Super Bowl because clearly we weren't going to. But I think that we have some of the best coaching in the AFC. Maybe not the best just because it's new and everything like that, but some of the best. Like I said, our team is the healthiest realistically, because our players that were injured are coming back. Drake May is the MVP. I think he's probably the best quarterback in the playoffs other than Josh Allen. But Josh Allen has his own team's difficulties, to where he has to rely on himself 100% of the time. I don't the fact that we're able to do what we do, whenever you look at our stat lines and you look at Drake, you're like, he doesn't even have to play that well for our team to win. And our defense is top 10, not probably top 5 at this point, just because I think there's a lot of elite defenses, but we're top 10. With Williams back, we're one of the best run defenses in the league, which makes, teams have to go over the air. And I think that we have great players in Christian Gonzalez, Carlson Davis, and Marcus Jones that are able to make plays every single time. I think Robert Spillane's going to be back soon, if not this game. He was hurt. He's a big part of our game. Christian Ellis. And I look at every single team that we're going up against in the AFC, and I just don't see us losing. I would say maybe the Bills, just because the Bills spend a lot of time figuring out how to beat us in the regular season. They've gone against us twice. I think that they might have an edge just based off the time they spent studying our offense and our defense. But the Chargers, I don't think so. The Steelers, I wouldn't be worried about. The Texans, because we'll probably go against the Texans, I guess, if the Jaguars won that game.
The Bills win, you play the Texans.
Yeah.
So,
And
yes.
So I see us beating the Texans. The Texans have a great defense. I think that we can score some on them, and we would exploit the issues that they have there. And the Broncos, I guess, would be a good game, but I think that our offense is much more efficient and it's much more well-rounded than the Broncos. Obviously, Nathan and Jackson are Broncos fans, and their defense, like you guys said, they've kind of been lackluster these past few weeks, still playing at a high level, but lackluster compared to earlier in the season. And I think that we can exploit that, and I think that we can go in there and beat them on the ground and beat them over the air, in a way that we would win. I think I'd be more afraid of 3 of the teams in the NFC than I would of any team in the AFC at this point. And yeah, I think that we're the best team in the AFC, and I think there's a lot of things to back it up, as we haven't had in the past with like Mac Jones and everything like that.
That's interesting. I think if I was playing in the AFC, the one team that I wouldn't want to play would be the Texans. That's the one team I wouldn't want to play, because I know how suffocating their defense is. And again, yes, I know that the Patriots offense and Drake May is the most efficient quarterback and all this stuff. I don't want to play the
Texans.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I think that the Patriots haven't played a defense that. Let me look at the schedule real quick. I don't think the Patriots have played a defense as good. But they're not as
No,
they're not
not
even
as good
in
as
the
the
same
Texans,
region.
obviously.
They're not. Well, yeah,
I
I'm saying
know.
like they're not even in the same like realm. So like if you guys do like I just want to see how you guys would perform against it. Um, and that would make me worried if I was a Patriots fan and we went up against the Texans. So if I was you guys, I would rather have the Jags beat the Bills, and I would rather play the Jags than the Texans. I mean,
Oh
neither of the
yeah.
matchups are very favorable for like. I also wouldn't want to play the
Mm.
Jags either. They're also red hot, but I mean, honestly, here I don't even know. I mean, no matter what, you probably want what? You probably want the Steelers to win and then the Bills to win. Because then that would
Yeah.
have you guys playing the Steelers and it'd probably be Patriots. Yeah, Patriots would beat the Steelers. That's what you guys need as Patriots fans, in my opinion, as how I'm looking at it. So
Yeah, I'd probably go
okay,
that
so
way
who
too.
do you have coming out of the NFC?
The NFC, I have the Seahawks. I think that the Seahawks defense is just, I mean, phenomenal whenever I watch them play. They pretty much manhandled the Rams both games. Even though you guys lost the game against the Rams the first time, that was just because of Sam Darnold playing abysmal football, which I guess
Interceptions,
could
three
be your
interceptions.
weakness. You know, if Sam Darnold doesn't throw interceptions, you beat him by like 2 touchdowns. And the fact that that's probably the best team in the league, a lot of people are saying in the Rams. You know, I think if you guys go against the Rams again, I think you beat them. I think if you go against any of those teams in the NFC, I think you beat them. Um, you get a bye week. I mean, I don't even know who you guys would play. Probably,
We probably play the Rams realistically, or
yeah.
unless I mean you guys had the Packers winning, so we'd play the Packers. I had the Bears winning in mind, so we would
Yeah.
play the Rams.
If you face the Packers, I think you beat the Packers. If you face the Rams, you've already shown that you can beat the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be most worried if you played the Rams because I don't know if they would let you lose again or let
That's
them.
fair.
I don't think they would let you beat them again. Is what I mean.
That's the
But if you
scariest
don't
team
face them,
I don't want to play them. I don't want to play them,
yeah,
and I really don't want to play the Niners. Like I understand the only reason why the Niners, yes, we just like it was only a 10-point game, but like we crushed them in that week 18 game. Like it really wasn't that close. But it's a division rivalry. It's an NFC West battle, and any of those games can flip flop in an instant, basically.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I'm the most scared of the Rams.
And I mean, you guys
So
probably have the best running back duo in the playoffs. I would say Clint Kubiak is probably the best coordinator in the playoffs. I would say you guys have a lot going your way, and I think that if Sam Darnold doesn't do Sam Darnold
have
things like he
4
did last year,
interceptions.
then you guys go to the Super Bowl, frankly.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we're gonna leave Super Bowl winners till next. We can just leave it till later. But like that's what we have.
I mean, if I
I
was
feel
to
like you
pick a
would choose the
Super Bowl winner,
Patriots.
yeah, and that would be biased, I would say. I mean, I
Fair.
think it'd be very close. I think, honestly, it'd be very similar to the first time that we played, or the last time we played each other in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Obviously, very different considering, it's Russell Wilson and Tom Brady compared to Drake May and Sam
Sam
Darnold.
Darnold and yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think it would be
Hydrogen
very
bomb and
similar.
Sam Darnold versus coughing baby and Drake May.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
would
yeah,
be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
The ginger freak and Sam Darnold versus some guy named Drake May.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's been a while since I've been in the situation where I can say
Yeah.
that the Patriots are on top. So
Yeah. That's the weird thing about all of us is because all of our teams are the 1 or 2 seed. So it's like no matter what, I hope the viewers know we're each picking our teams to win the Super Bowl this year. Nathan and Jackson are going to pick the Broncos to win the Super Bowl, and I'm going to pick, no surprise, I'm picking the Seahawks
yeah,
to win the Super Bowl, and I don't think that's really going to shock anybody, unless Nathan's going to be like, I don't know. But Nathan's been saying the Broncos are the top every year, so I'm assuming he's going to think the Broncos are going to win the Super Bowl.
like if one of us was a Chargers fan, we're like, yeah, I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think everybody would be like, yeah,
That's
you're
kind of crazy,
still full
yeah.
of shit. But
That's just bias. Like, that's just pure biasy.
but I think
But
that all those teams have shown that they can win a Super Bowl, or they have the team to win
yeah,
a Super Bowl. I guess.
yeah. I guess, do you want to go, Nathan? Or do you want me to go?
See you.
I guess I can go. Again, with Cody, I have the Seahawks coming out of the NFC. Same reasons I said before. I think we have my opinion, and I guess it could be biased, but I guess not. I mean, we saw the game against the Niners. The Seahawks have the best defense in the league, in my opinion, and we're actually fully healthy now. I think the only person we're really losing right now is Kobe Bryant. But he's questionable to return, and we have a bye week, so that's really helpful. I think we're the healthiest that we've been all season, purely frankly. Charles Cross is going to come back as a left tackle for us. That's huge. We just signed him to a huge extension. He's probably our second best offensive lineman next to Gray Zabel. I guess the only bad thing for us is Torrey. Oh, my bad. Anthony Bradford. Yeah. I think we lose that on Torrey Horton, which that's pretty big for offense. If you look at our numbers, like statistically offensive wise, without Torrey Horton, we're worse, which is really weird because I don't really know. I mean, he's our gadget guy in the offense, I guess, but now we have Rashid Shaheed, which is really helpful. Arroyo is coming back off of IR. That's a really helpful tight end for us to have in there. We have AJ Barner as well. I mean, he's emerging from the scenes. Like everything is clicking for the Seattle team. And I think again, I guess there's two teams that I think that can really beat us, and that's the Rams and that's the Eagles. I have the Eagles in there only because I think their defense can suffocate Sam Darnold so much. So it's going to be a repeat of what Sam Darnold was last year on the Vikings against the Rams. He took 8 sacks. I think that exact same thing could happen with the Eagles against the Seahawks offense. And same with the turnover issue. I mean, we saw earlier in the season, he had 4 interceptions against the Rams. He had 2 really bad ones against the Rams. The second time he played them, still came back and won that game. Again, like Jackson said earlier, I think the weakness of our team is our quarterback. And I don't think it's a surprise to anybody, but that's also going to be the game changer for us. If Sam Darnold can just manage his turnovers, we will be fine. Like I think we'll be chilling. If he throws maybe 1 interception, I think they'll be fine. Anything more than that, really not hopeful for us winning it. Out of the AFC though, I think this is gonna be a surprise to you guys. I said they were one of the hottest teams. I have the Jags coming out of the AFC. Now I have them beating the Patriots in the second round. And then I have them beating the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. It's a repeat of whatever happened week, whatever. But I do think that this Liam Cohen offense and Trevor Lawrence, everything again is clicking for them right at the right moment. And that's all that really matters in the playoffs. It's a 1-game thing. It's not like it's the NBA or the MLB or the NHL where you have 7 games and the best team like easily wins that. It's whoever comes in with the most momentum and who is clicking well together right now. And I think that's the Jacksonville Jaguars with their offense and their defense. They're forcing turnovers and they're scoring so many points. I mean, let me look at again, they could easily lose on Sunday to the Bills, and then my prediction is basically out the window. But like they're put up 41, 23, 34, 48, 36, 25, 27, 35. Like they've had 1 game under 10 points, and they put up 29 against the Texans, which was the top defense. We said it was the top 2 defense, top 3 defense in the league. They put 34 against the Broncos. I guess the one game that they lost against the Bengals in week 2. That was bad, but like, I mean, you can say the Patriots lost to the Raiders in week 1, but we don't point that out.
But I mean,
it's just
the Patriots
everything is
haven't
clicking for them.
I do. I point that out.
The Patriots haven't scored under 23 points since week 3. So you could say the same thing for the Patriots in terms of coming out hot. 38-42, 28-31, 33-26, 27-28, 24-32.
I'm just saying,
31.
I think the performance against the Broncos that I saw, that game, what I saw from Trevor Lawrence, how he's been playing this season, how that offense is just meshing together. I really wish I want to imagine what it was like if they had Travis Hunter involved in that. Obviously, he's out for the season, but imagine him incorporated into this offense into the postseason. And again, it's a shocker. I mean, I don't want to be basic. I don't want to pick the 1 seed, and I don't want to pick like a 1 and 2 seed. But I genuinely believe that this Jags team is getting hot at the perfect moment. Both sides of the ball are clicking, and that they could make this deep run. So that's who I have. And then obviously I have the Seahawks winning it because biased, and I mean I think it could actually happen. So that's my prediction.
Awesome. I got the Broncos coming out the AFC West. Due to a couple of reasons. Yeah. Nah. Just the AFC West. No. The AFC. I think home field advantage will play a big part. I think it's really hard to come into Mile High. I know the Jags did it a couple weeks ago, but I truly think it's really difficult to come into Mile High play, especially when it gets colder. We just had a big snowstorm. If we have another big snowstorm in 2 weeks, it's going to be really difficult to play up in Denver. I also think I think our defense was on the right track after the Chargers game. I know we played second strings, but I felt like that was a big morale boost. Like even though we played second strings, I still think forcing multiple turnovers, getting to the quarterback, holding them to 3 points, I think is really big for the Broncos defense heading into the playoffs. And then I do think our weakness would probably be our offense. I wouldn't necessarily. I would say a little bit about next. I would also say what Sean Payton's play calling is. If we're gonna call screen passes on 3rd and 15 every single time, I'd be a little concerned with our offense.
That's on the
But
situation, I guess. I mean,
yeah,
a screen pass on 3rd
because
and 15 isn't terrible, but
If you have the right blocking.
yeah, but if you do it every 3rd and 15,
again, it depends on the situation. If you're already winning, you might as well. But it's like if you're down
Oh,
in the
yeah.
game and then you're running it, and it also depends, I guess, where you are. Like if you're on your own 20-yard line, you're not going to want to try to force something and then an interception. But I agree. Continue.
but I do think the Broncos can win, especially being at home. And then in the NFC, I don't know. I'm stuck between the Seahawks and the Rams coming out. I think those are the two best teams in the NFC, and I don't know. It's really a toss up. I'll probably have Seattle coming out because of home field advantage as well. They're 12th man. The noise in Seattle. I think it's also really hard for a team to travel. Like the only reason why I see the Rams losing to the Panthers this upcoming week, they have to fly 12 hours across the country a day or
Yeah.
two before the game. And I think that's really I think that's the hardest part about being a away team. Is you have to travel. It's hard on the body. So, but I do see I would probably have Seattle coming out on top only due to the home field advantage. So,
That's fair. I've been kind of going back and forth between my Broncos and Texans pick. Just because I do think that the Texans could win that game not easily, but they could win that game in Mile High.
easily.
I didn't say easily. I'm just saying I think the Broncos is
We also beat the Texans once this year.
well, yeah, that was way back then. I'm saying the Texans are like
The
I
Texans
would
back
rather
then did not have an offense.
I have more faith in the Texans as a whole as a team to beat the Broncos right now. Do I think it's gonna happen? I don't know. Like it's truly I think it could be a coin flip game. They both have great defenses. It's who do I trust more? Do I trust CJ Stroud? Do I trust Bo Nix more? My opinion, I think I might trust CJ Stroud, who has the playoff experience, over Bo Nix than any of that. But then again, you have
I
the Sean
trust
Payton
They
Cayenne
both
coaching
Air
experience.
Bears.
Whoa.
Right?
They've both played one game in the playoffs.
CJ Stroud has
Thank you
2
very much.
seasons. CJ Stroud has 2 seasons in the playoffs,
Does
and
he?
has played
He
yes
does.
2 seasons, and he's already
Sorry.
won a postseason game. Bo Nix got routed by the Bills last season in his postseason game. CJ Stroud has actually won a postseason game. You're making that face like I'm making a goofy point. You guys got demolished by the Bills, and it wasn't close. CJ Stroud has actually shown us that he can play in the playoffs. My only thing would be that Sean Payton has that playoff coaching experience, and that would be the only thing. But do I really think that's going to matter that much in a game where he's not playing in the game? Like I think coaching is going to matter, but not to the extent where I think it's going to decide the game that much.
You also played the Davis Mills Texans, by the way.
Hold on.
Played the
You
CJ
can't
Stroud
just say
Texans.
you played the Davis Mills Texans because the Davis Mills Texans beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. They went on a 3-game winning streak after we played them.
Yeah,
with
and guess
Davis
what? He's not
Mills.
starting because CJ Stroud is the better quarterback.
I'm just saying.
but
I
you
think if
can't- you
CJ
can't
Stroud,
just put it. You can't.
Nathan,
I
need
just
you to
did.
understand. I need you to understand. Davis
He-
Mills
you know Bo
had
Nix's
0
stat
reps
line
with the
that game?
first start. Had 0 starters with the first rep teams. He had all week practice with them. I'm not saying that like it was like a fault. I'm just saying, if CJ Stroud played that whole game, the Texans
They don't
probably win that game. They probably win that
No.
game.
Bo Nix
Okay.
went 40%. He went 18 for 37 that game.
Yeah,
He did
and
not
guess
play
what?
well.
guess what? I don't care. We still won. That's all that matters.
That's not,
Against the banged
you're
up Texans
understanding the
team.
point.
You're going
Like,
against
you're
a
not
healthy
understanding the
Texans
point.
team in the playoffs.
We went against the healthy
Texans
Texans
win.
defense, and that's the main point of the Texans. Is
And
their
they almost
defense, is it
beat you.
not?
The only reason they didn't
Okay,
is because the CJ Stroud got hurt and you're playing Davis
I'm not-
Mills.
okay, if we're saying, I'm saying if we're like on a baseline level, the Broncos defense and the Texans defense are very equal and similar of like how they play. Who do I trust more? Do I trust the Broncos offense more, or who do I trust the Texans offense more? I think I'm going to
And I
trust
would
the
trust the
Texans offense
Texans.
more. I think they have the better
Okay,
quarterback.
I'm
I have the better quarterback, and they have the better receiver. I understand you're going to take the
gonna
Broncos
take
because
the
you're
Broncos
biased.
offense.
And honestly, Woody Marks
It's
doesn't
not
play
just
bad either.
biased though. We've
It is biased.
also proved that our offense is good. If you look at
Where?
the Eagles game, the Eagles
No. Your offense is not as good at the level of half of the teams in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
You guys might be like one of the worst one seeds in like recent history because you guys are just you guys can't crush teams. You can't crush bad teams. You almost lost to the Chiefs on Christmas Day.
We don't have to crush bad teams.
The Josh Johnson Chiefs. Is that what his name is? I don't even remember his name.
Okay, let's go back to 2015. The Broncos weren't crushing bad teams then.
What are we even talking
and we
about?
still won the fucking
That's Peyton
Super Bowl.
Manning.
It doesn't
Peyton
matter
Manning
who
and
it
Bo
was. He was hurt half of the season. It was Brock
You're
Osweiler.
comparing the second
You
greatest
can't-
quarterback
you-
of all time to Bo Nix. And frankly, the 2013 or the 2015 Broncos defense is much better than the Broncos defense right now, which is very good.
Actually, that statistically it is not. Fun fact.
But
Oh,
but
throw your
frankly,
hands
are you
up,
going to
Cody.
take the 25th?
Statistically,
Are you going to take the no-fly zone? Are you going to take the current team that you have now?
current team.
That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. No.
That's crazy. I can't.
It's a close game. I just think that the Texans haven't. I think that the Texans have shown more than the Broncos that they can win big games. Other than, I mean, the Broncos have a better record, yes, but frankly, the Texans defense has been playing better recently, and the Texans offense has been playing better recently. And when they go into it, if the only thing on your side is the fact that you have home field advantage, I don't think that that's enough. I don't think that the mile high advantage is as big of a difference that's going to win you a game with the pretty much 1A, 1B defense like the Texans with CJ Stroud and Nico Collins.
Okay. We'll see.
I just don't see how you say your offense is good when you put up 19 points and you're saying, "Oh, we played the backup Chargers. We played the backup Chargers. You put up 19 points." I'm just saying there's so many games this season that I've watched from the Broncos that I've never been impressed with their offense. I was not impressed with the Broncos offense against the Jets, where you won by 2 points. You put up 13 points against the Jets. You put up.
I didn't say we did.
It was a 1-score game. You put up 10 points against the Raiders. But you're saying you've seen the season, the Broncos offense. You're saying that they're good, that they're better than the Texans.
Yes,
they're not. They're not. They're really not. You need to put this bias aside and say that you guys are not a good offense and you're a defensive-oriented team. But you're not, because you're a Broncos fan and you're going to have your biasy. Because you're not a good offensive team and your whole team is based on your defense. So is the Texans, but the Texans have at least put up more than 20 points against bad teams.
Okay.
Put up 36 against the Jags. What do you guys do against the Jags? Oh, you lost. You put up 20. What did you guys do against the Raiders? Put up 10 points. Texans put up 23. You put up 20. And I'm saying the first matchup, you put up 10 points in a Thursday night game. The first game, it was 10-7. Am I lying to you? It was a primetime game and one of the most boring games I've watched.
They're also going against the Raiders the second time after they're already going for the 1 seed. So, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, you put up 24.
Bo Nix had 31 completions for 212 yards. That's not good. That's terrible.
Bo Nix is the definition of a check down merchant.
That's true.
Bo Nix has more 20-yard passes than Drake May this season.
How many completions does Bo Nix have? I'm actually gonna look at this right now. I'm actually gonna
look at how many pass attempts and pass completions that Bo Nix has.
Also, Bo Nix has more 20-yard plus touchdowns than Drake May this season, sitting at 11, tied for Matthew Stafford.
Because
following them is Caleb Williams at 10.
So let me tell you, you're saying that Bo Nix is a better deep deep pass ball than Drake May.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Did I say that? No.
I'm saying that Bo Nix passes the ball significantly more than Drake May,
Yes, he does.
which is the reason why you have more statistical 20-yard plays and 20-yard touchdowns. When I
Okay,
look
listen.
like
Because
this
we run
Raiders game,
screen passes all game.
38 pass attempts.
I don't think that is Bo Nix's fault that we run screen passes
It's
every
not.
other play.
It's not Bo Nix's fault. But what I'm saying is that he checks the ball down when Drake May is consistently better. The only reason that Drake May doesn't have those same numbers is because Drake May just doesn't throw the ball as much because that's not what our offense is based around. It's an efficient
Oh.
run, pass, win.
Bo Nix had the most throwing attempts this season, 612. The second was Dak Prescott. Third was Stafford. Stafford is at 592. Drake May was at 492, 120 less than Bo Nix. Yet had, more yards, higher completion percentage, all that stuff. He had 400 more yards than Bo Nix on 100 less pass attempts. And only 30 less completions. I'm just saying, I just think that this Broncos bias needs to be put aside, and I need you to be real with your offense and just be completely biased. Because it's been like this all season. All season long, the Broncos offense has never been the focal point or actually good on their team. And I think if Jackson's in here, he would agree. I understand it's your baby boo Bo Nix, but you have to say he's the weakest link of your team, I would say. And if something's going to come down to the game, it's going to be, can Bo Nix clutch up or not in a postseason game?
And I think
against a good defense.
I think he can. He did it
Okay.
against the Eagles.
Okay.
He did it against the Giants.
Giants, that's crazy.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
2-10
but
Giants.
but we're down. We're also down 18
I'm just
points.
saying
You can't.
I understand. I'm just saying it's the Giants, Nathan.
I just think that you guys keep it too
And the
close
Chargers lost to
offensively,
the Giants,
and at
but no one
some
talks
point,
about that.
You lost to the Chargers, so you're worse than the Giants. So
it's not even
beat the
about
Chargers, too.
beating teams like
you
that.
beat the Chargers on week
anymore.
18 on their second string,
Yeah,
and you put up
the
19
Trey
points.
Lance Chargers.
A win is a win.
Exactly, but all of that aside, you guys keep it
Broncos
way
are
too
winning the
close with
Super
every
Bowl. All of that
opponent,
aside.
and that's going to come back to bite you. If you're not beating teams out the gate, they're going to take advantage of that. And I think the Texans would. I think the Bills would. I think any team that you're going to go against in that
that's what I'm
second
saying.
round is going to take
I
advantage
agree.
of that. I think if you go against the Bills or the Texans, you lose.
Okay.
Because you're just playing this. You're just playing this yeah sure game. But we want to have an actual conversation because like that's how you beat teams in the playoffs. You can't just beat teams in the playoffs by having to rely on some magical miracle fourth quarter comeback every single time. You have to be able to put up a good amount of points in games.
Like if you were the
I didn't
Chiefs,
say-
like they were last year, that'd be one thing because that team is high caliber and they can do anything. But it's a very different situation here.
I think
Right.
we've gone off topic.
So when the Chiefs go 11-1 and one score games last year, it's different when we
Yes.
go. Right.
No one was really picking the
Okay.
Chiefs. Everyone is saying this against the Chiefs last season. I was saying the same thing that the Chiefs weren't a good one seed.
Yeah, but the Chiefs.
But the only reason why they
but the
won
Chiefs-
because they had Patrick Mahomes, Nathan, and Andy Reid. That is not comparable to Bo Nix and Sean Payton. It's not even close.
I'm saying it's different because it's a different team. Patrick Mahomes, at that point, was already being put in talks as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Andy Reid is probably the second best NFL head coach of all time. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator. Their offense was firing on all cylinders whenever it needed to. It's a very different situation. It's an extremely different situation. That's why I'm saying that it's different. And you guys could just go in there and beat us. We don't know. But I'm saying that the statistics don't back up your guys' offense being good other than whenever you look at fourth quarter performances. And I think that at some point that's going to come back to bite you if you don't take advantage of that and play all four quarters.
Okay. I just think it's weird that because we beat the Texans in Houston. It wasn't at home. It was in Houston.
Against a backup quarterback by 3.
doesn't matter the score. And it doesn't matter who's playing because Davis Mills also
So
won
now, so
multiple
score doesn't
games.
matter. So you're
David,
saying score doesn't matter.
I've never said score matters.
Yeah, it should matter.
A win is
Score
a win.
should
That's
matter.
what I've always said.
And I
It
think
shouldn't matter.
I think that bias is stupid because I'm saying if I'm losing to you beat the Raiders, the worst team in the league, by 3 points. That means something. You lost to you beat the Commanders by 1 point in overtime. That means something. That means that you can't blow out these bad teams. So I don't trust your team.
Stop.
What?
Sorry, we beat the Raiders by 3. There's a
Yeah.
team in the playoffs that lost to the Raiders.
Oh yeah, we lost to the Raiders week 1.
Yes.
Guess what?
Oh,
we had an entire
it doesn't
that hadn't
matter.
played together
You
for
still
week 1.
lost.
But we're talking about consistently. Ever since the Panthers game, we've been the best team in the league, other than maybe the Rams. We go against teams and we dominate them and we beat them by 2-3 touchdowns. You go against the
And that's
Jets
why you're
and
the
you
one
beat them by
seed.
2. You've come back to this Raiders argument every single time that we lost to the Raiders.
Because Asher brings it up every single time that we only beat him by 3 points. It doesn't matter if we beat him by 3 points because we won the game.
Yeah, and you
lost
only beat the
game.
Jets by 2 points.
No,
You only beat the
I'm
Texans by
not
3
saying,
points.
Nathan, I'm not
It's
saying as a team.
consistency.
This is the thing. I'm bringing up score because I'm talking about your offense as a whole. I'm not talking about score because I'm talking about as a team as a whole. I understand your team is great. I understand your defense is able to hold the Raiders to 7 points, and that's why you won the game. I mean, yes, you could have scored 30 on them and the game, yeah, whatever. You still win the game. I'm saying when it comes to a playoff, I want an offense that is able to put up a lot. You need good points. Statistically, throughout like the past, like whatever Super Bowl, I think it's like 10 something Super Bowls. You have to be top 10 in offense or top 5 or whatever in offensive rating and points and all this metrics. And I just don't trust the Broncos offense, who I've seen throughout this entire season be inconsistent in this. I want an offense that is consistent with this. That's why I have the Jags making it to my Super Bowl. They've been a consistent offense and they've been a consistent upper echelon defense later off in the season. I think the Broncos have a great defense and they've been, they've had their downhill for the past couple weeks, but I'm saying this Broncos offense has been an up and down train, and I don't know which Broncos offense I'm going to get, which is why I can't trust them in the playoffs. So I'm picking another team. That's why I'm possibly picking the Texans, because I just don't know which side of the Broncos I'm getting. That is the only reason why. I also think that it's a quarterback thing. I think that Bo Nix might be the second worst or third worst quarterback in the playoffs right now out of everybody. That's why I am choosing a different team over the Broncos, is because I am more certain in them beating you guys than the Broncos winning. Like if the Jags played the Broncos, I did have the Jags playing the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. I have the Jags beating you guys because I trust more in the whole team as a whole than just the Broncos betting on their defense, trying to hold this team to less than 20 points. That's my reasoning for it.
Okay.
I think we've settled everything. Unless anybody has anything else to say, that's not just directly attacking the team.
Something else I need to
anyways, I
say. I
have the
think it'll show
Broncos
on
and the
Sunday.
Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So.
Next Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, we will see. And you know what? Maybe on Sunday we'll see the Patriots lose to the Chargers, and then I'll have a victory lap on my Justin Herbert and Chargers take. Will that happen? No, it won't happen. But what I love
You'll
to see
see Justin
happen,
Herbert in Cancun.
I'm going to see Justin Herbert crying on the sideline with his broken hand again, because you guys are going to break him. You guys are going to break him apart. Who plays tomorrow, actually? Packers, Bears, and Panthers, Rams.
And yeah.
You guys want to see a Caleb Williams masterclass on Prime Time on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
I think you thinking that Caleb Williams is better than Jordan Love is still crazy.
I think right now he's playing better than Jordan Love. Like, obviously Jordan Love's been hurt, but I'm saying like Caleb Williams in that overtime game threw a crazy 50-yard bomb for the touchdown. I guess Jordan Love could also do that,
Williams
but I haven't
still
seen
has a similar problem where he plays really well in the fourth quarter and doesn't play that well in the first 3.
I mean, I guess I could see that. I mean, he played good against the 49ers. He put up 38 points against them. Now, granted, the Niners, their defense is pretty hurt, but put up 330 yards. Hey, franchise leader in passing yards for the Bears, so that's how poverty they've been.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I think also the Lions loss it hurts them a lot. Like looking at the Bears as a whole, if they would have won that game, I think a lot of people would be more higher on the Bears than
Yeah.
they would if if they beat the Lions with the Eagles, would they be above the Eagles? Oh, they are above the Eagles. Never mind. I didn't realize. I forgot the Eagles lost against the Commanders.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody have anything else to say before we wrap it up? We
I don't
went on a
think
long
so.
tangent. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for listening / watching to our podcast, covering the AFC and NFC side in the first round of the bracket. We will see you guys next time, and don't forget to follow us on all socials: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We'll have probably our playoff brackets filled out for everyone to see on Instagram. You guys, or maybe Twitter. If I need to get that Twitter account up, but I need to get on Instagram. You can see all of our brackets of who we have and who we're picking to win those games. And we'll see you guys next time to when we discuss all the games that happen and then the potential bracket of that. So without further ado, goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Peace.